Edmund Burke had said, quote, it's slipping my mind. Hold on a second. Edmund Burke said, the only thing evil needs in order to flourish is for good men to do nothing. We've done nothing. 77% of the country's population got the vaccine. 64% got more than one shot. Out of fear. I'll lose my job if I don't take the vaccine, man. I had to do it. Tell me, you guys pay school tax?
Yeah. Too much.
And they're forcing your kids to wear a mask? Pornographic books in the libraries of these schools. You've seen the articles. And you're paying for that. We're all paying for it. We're contributing ourselves to this evil. What's wrong with us? We really need to start taking action like this woman said right here. Okay? Gather forces. Just imagine if all these people here showed up to a school and said, yeah, you're going to take that damn mask off the children or we're not leaving. Because we're unnecessary to the security of a free state. I wouldn't want to fight 300-400 people. Nobody would. I'm in Allegheny County, and there's a woman who I'm very good friends with there. Her name is Kimberly Reagan. She owns a restaurant called The Cracked Egg. And she's one of the only business owners that had the courage and strength to stand up against the evil, corrupt government and stayed open with none of these ridiculous mandates and restrictions. You know what they just sent her in the mail yesterday? Because you didn't shut down, you owe us $13,200. Well, there's going to be some militiamen standing at the restaurant. If you are not willing to die for your freedom, you will never have it, I promise you that. You have to be willing. Our founding fathers fought, bled, died, sacrificed, went bankrupt. You think it's going to be any easier for us? You think casting ballots is going to fix this? After the founders, what they had to do? The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time. And I'm not going to repeat the rest of it because I think you all know.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to think about this real hard and real deep. Because what are you going to do 20, 30 years from now? When your country is now a communist, totalitarian police state. Because all we did was sign petitions and cast ballots. And we had nothing. And our children look up at us and say, Dad, Uncle, Grandpa, why am I living in this evil, totalitarian police state, this Marxist, communist tyranny? Well, I'm sorry. I feared the government using violence against me, so I just casted a ballot and signed petitions. Is that what you want to tell them? All of you will die someday. And I would rather, this is just me, I would rather die a noble, honorable death fighting this tyranny than sitting on my couch eating potato chips watching a sports ball event. Courage is lacking in this country. People think they have courage and they don't have courage. People think they're tough guys. Oh, offends my wife or my girlfriend, I'll punch him in the face. Oh, okay. Would you stand up against your evil communist government? What did you do when they forced all of this? Title 18, Section 242 of the U.S. Code. Look it up. The deprivation of constitutional rights is a felony offense under the law. Title 18, Section 241 of the U.S. Code. Conspiracy to deprive constitutional rights. Felony offense. Name one law enforcement agency anywhere that arrested any governor, mayor, health secretary, anywhere.
Lock them up!
Why didn't any law enforcement agency on the local level, the county level, the state level, and the federal level not even charge anybody? They're all compromised because they work for the same government that put these tyrannical mandates in place. They'll lose their pension, paycheck, and benefits if they do anything. They took an oath, as Steve said. They took an oath. And did you know under U.S. law code and Pennsylvania law code that if you violate your oath, it is a perjury offense, another felony? Look it up. We don't have any laws. The laws are just for us. They're not for them. That's evil. They're not scared of us. We've never stood up to them. We've waved flags. We've yelled and we screamed. We created funny Facebook memes. We never fought. Signing a petition isn't fighting. And we ask permission by getting them to try and pass legislation to renew a right that I already have.
Yeah!
Have we resigned ourselves to that? That's an admission that we are subjects, serfs, or slaves. Please, slave master, give me my freedom. I'm not doing that. I'll vote. But no way on God's green earth am I going to sit there and cheer on a politician and wear a shirt with his name on it. I'll wear a shirt with God's name on it. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. We should never fear death. As a matter of fact, we should embrace a noble and honorable death. Steve was right. There's no difference between these Republicans and Democrats. Don't misunderstand me. There's a handful of good ones. But if I don't hear one single politician say that your rights are God-given, not given by us, and you are guaranteed them, and if they try and take them, you are allowed to fight for them, which is why the Second Amendment was created.
Amen. Yeah!
But no, I'm an extremist. I'm a radical.
So am I.
I still love you. There with you. That's a badge of honor.
Yeah, we fought for against slavery once in this country. And my last speaking event, I said this. I quoted a song that was made during the Civil War. The Battle Hymn of the Republic. Does everybody know it?
Yep.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. You know that? The last verse in that song is what really stuck to me. And the last verse goes, in the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us die to make men free.
Yeah.
God's truth is marching on. A month from now, we will all be celebrating what? Memorial Day, correct?
I got veterans.
While we got veterans locked up, get enough people, we can go bust them out, right? But I'm an extremist for saying that. You know, Memorial Day is supposed to honor the veterans, honor everybody who sacrificed, who fought for our freedom. What's freedom? Freedom to be forced to take a shot? What's freedom? Freedom to be forced to wear a mask, to pay taxes, for transgender story time. Is that what they fought for? Pornographic books in our schools, is that what they fought for?
Nope.
Property tax, completely unconstitutional. Is that what they fought for?
No, that's gotta stop.
Unfair elections, is that what they fought for? Because that's what we have. That's what we have right now. We are all disgracing those men and women who fought by allowing it to happen. But what do? We're going to go get drunk and get fat and eat food and wave our flag like we're a patriot. That's not my definition of patriotism. This is why I run a militia unit with my men. We train every single week, and I promote everybody to do it. Everybody. Why? Because I don't want to be a living, breathing embarrassment to my forefathers who fought and died in this country.
Amen.
You want to fight for freedom? Don't depend and rely on casting a ballot. That's not going to work. Show me evidence where that worked. Show me evidence of constitutional rights being restored because of voting. Even 2 states in the country, Indiana and Florida, both Republican states, passed red flag law bills. Which means the hell with your Second Amendment rights, the hell with your Fourth Amendment rights, the hell with your Fifth Amendment rights, and screw the 14th Amendment. 14 states total. Red flag law. Yeah, we think you're dangerous. We don't have any reason to believe you committed a crime, but we're going to take your gun because we don't think you're safe. Literally, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You don't have to commit any crime, make any threat. No, we think you're crazy, so we're going to take your gun. 14 states.
Hell no.
You know, politicians, you know what? It's time to stop blaming the politicians. They're communists, and we know they're communists. They're Marxists. We know they're Marxists. And we make fun of Joe Biden? This is a man who poops his pants in public, who has dementia, who can't even make a coherent sentence. And we laugh at him? Where's the joke? He's in office. We allowed it. Guys, I gotta go. But I want to say one more quote by a man who lived through communist, Marxist Soviet Union, who suffered in a gulag and was tortured. His name is Alexander Solzhenitsyn. And he's had a famous quote. And I'm paraphrasing here, and it says, "Evil may come into this world. Evil has always come into this world. Evil may even flourish, but not through me." God bless everybody. God bless America.
Yeah!
And our next speaker is Stephanie Coxon. Thank you. I'm not even sure how to follow that. We have some amazing speakers, so forgive me if I am not as good as he is. My name is Dr. Stephanie Coxon. I am with Pennsylvania Coalition of Informed Consent, and we are made up of families, employees, healthcare practitioners, and students all across the state who share in the grassroots works of building an informed community, educating leaders and legislators, and taking consistent, necessary action to shine a light on the critical need to protect bodily autonomy, informed consent, and of course, medical freedom. We came together in 2015 when a nationwide push to remove exemptions and expand mandates swept through the country as a coordinated response to the Disney measles outbreak. 2020 is not new to some of us. We can plainly see that the parties who are lobbying for medical mandates are well funded, and even their, quote, grassroots groups are hired hands. But we are not balking. No amount of money can buy the passion of parents who have seen their child suffer injury from a vaccine, nor the fervor of healthcare workers who are forced to receive injections to keep their jobs, nor the conviction of the true health community who has done the research and knows the risks, nor the spirit of freedom-loving Pennsylvanians. Every day, we are faced with decisions that impact our lives. I made the decision to vaccinate 4 of my 5 children, and 23 years later, I am still living with that decision. Within 24 hours of receiving the MMR vaccine, my oldest child had a febrile seizure that severely impaired his ability to eat. He went through 6 months of feeding therapy to relearn how to eat, something so basic to human nature. By the time I had my 4th child and once again dealing with the adverse events, I decided to stop because it wasn't right for our family. Instead of a doctor being understanding, we were kicked out of the pediatric practice. There were points in this fight where I had to stand alone, but I am alone no longer. To give you a little bit of background, I graduated. Here we stand with an external threat to our safety, a virus that is being used against us to strip away our freedoms and liberties. This cannot go any further. We cannot continue our rights to be taken from us under the guise of safety. Guys, I've been kicked off of airplanes. I have been kicked out of stores. They tried to mask my child at school and I said no. And they said, well, can you just put a mask on them to walk them to the front door? No. We have to say no. When we had to go to the hospital, they tried to mask us. I said no. And when I said I will take my business elsewhere because there's 100 other facilities I can have this done at, guess what happened? We were escorted through the hospital. We've got to say no.
Yes.
Our freedom from medical Our freedom from medical tyranny is quickly slipping through our fingers like sand, and it has to stop here. This cannot continue. As a medical professional, I am keenly aware of the uniqueness of each and every person's health and medical history. Nowhere else in medicine do we take a one-size-fits-all approach, only when it comes to vaccination. In a paper entitled Advocacy, A New Paradigm of Vaccine Safety and Design from 2015, the principles of personalized medicine apply equally to personalized vaccinology, by which we mean that the choice of the vaccine administered should take into account critical characteristics of the individual. We could administer the right vaccine at the right dose for the right patient at the right time. Not all individuals respond in the same way to vaccines. Notice that they said could administer the right vaccine at the right dose for the right patient and at the right time. They could. But is that what our medical professionals and industry scientists are recommending? No. Instead, they are requiring proof of vaccinations to enter into establishments. They are coercing individuals to take a vaccine by threatening their livelihoods. All the while, people who have been vaccinated can catch and spread COVID. Protecting people, of course, is of the utmost importance. Highest vaccine rate, highest COVID rate. Israel, after the 3rd round of boosters, highest transmission rate. Gibraltar, after stopping vaccination for 4 months and there being no significant increase in boosters, or COVID, started boosters on October 11, 2021. New cases started November 1st. Then there are the reinfection rates. In a report out of Qatar, 353,000 people with a COVID diagnosis. 1,304 reinfections occurred and the people with natural immunity, with only 4 cases of severe COVID, 0 deaths. In the vaccinated, there were 193 severe critical or fatal cases. What the data shows is vaccinated are 10.2 times more likely to suffer from severe COVID or death upon reinfection. All the while, individuals with natural immunity are brushed aside until they still need a vaccine, even though we know natural immunity is better than vaccine immunity. This is not okay. Where there is a risk, there must be a choice, and we must fight to protect that choice. This gene therapy was supposed to be studied for 5 years, yet they ended it after 6 months. They unblinded the study, and they gave the vaccine to the placebo group. That means we will never know the long-term impacts of this therapy. One research study states vaccine for SARS, MERS, and RSV have never been approved, and the data generated in the development and testing of these vaccines suggests a serious mechanistic concern that vaccines may worsen COVID-19 disease via antibody-dependent enhancement. The specific and significant COVID-19 risk of antibody-dependent enhancement should have been and should be prominently and independently disclosed to research subjects currently taking this vaccine, as well as those being recruited for the trials for future patients, in order to meet the medical ethics standard of patient comprehension for informed consent. How many people do you think were told this before receiving their injection? Myocardial infarction has increased 269%. Miscarriages, 300%. Bell's palsy, 291%. Congenital malformations, 156%. Female infertility, 471%. Pulmonary embolisms, 467%. Neurological abnormalities, 300%. And then there is cancer. The cancer percentage comes from an analysis comparing past VAERS data with the current VAERS data. Cancer has not been traditionally associated with a vaccine. In the last 16 months, there were 739 cases resulting in 84 deaths compared to the past records showing all FDA-approved vaccines for the previous 30 years came to 220 cases, resulting in 16 deaths. This means that there is an average of 0.6 cases per month for the previous 30 years, compared to an average of 46 cases of cancer following the COVID-19 vaccine. Guys, that is 7,567% increase in cancer. I just said that, sorry. 7,567% increase in cancer. Where are our doctors and our scientists? Where is our government that's primary purpose is supposed to be to protect its citizens?
They're living in fear.
Where are people's common sense? Where are people's common sense? Yes. It is our truck drivers. It is you that are doing what physicians are afraid to do. You are the true heroes, brave enough to stand, sacrifice, and protect people's basic freedoms. This is the time for civil disobedience. Informed consent involves a basic human right to consent or refuse a medical treatment or procedure, including vaccination. The consent must be voluntary. If a patient or a parent of a patient is coerced or threatened in any way into consenting for vaccination, including statutory or government-mandated exclusion from school or employment, then the consent obtained is coerced. This is not informed consent. PCIC's desire is for every person to have the resources and freedom to make well-informed decisions about vaccines. We will work until an acceptable response to a medical procedure is no. We will continue our cause until all participants in medical procedures receive full disclosure of what risks exist. We have a legacy mindset, expecting this critical work to go beyond the season of our individual commitment, and we are urging you to become active in legislative activities. Guys, get to know your legislator. We do have a handful of people who have been fighting with us, very few. But you have to go out there and see who they are. Let's rally behind House Bill 2013. Let your state and your Senate and House of Representatives know that you stand for this bill, this constitutional amendment that will protect PA citizens' right to decline a medical procedure. More than ever, each and every one of us needs to get involved. Let them know where you stand. It's so important. Now is the time to stand up and let our voices be heard. Now is the time to remain united as we fight for our right to bodily autonomy. And now is the time to live free. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Stephanie. So, our next speaker is Mr. Brian Brase. He is down in the Porta-John right now, but he will be back up here in a moment. So, as soon as he gets up here, we'll have him speak. I was thinking, we're gonna have our page, our Facebook page set up to have as much information on the state bills and this stuff. Our moderators are gonna work their heart. Brian, there he is. InformedConsentPA.org is a place where you can find information on these bills.
Woo!
Thank you for your support. Freedom, everybody. And we're trying. We're definitely trying. So Brian's coming up the steps. I'm sure everybody here already knows who this man is. He does not need a formal introduction. And I'm going to hand the mic off.
I catch my breath. I just had to pee, just to be clear. And the Nancy Pelosi Biden toilet paper was missing already. So you all used it up already. Anyways, I want to first off, I want to start off like this. First and foremost, thank you to the organizers of the Pennsylvania rally here. You guys come up here a second. These folks have worked extremely hard at putting this together, and I know that there's many more, just like the one I was involved in, where there's a lot of people behind the scenes as well that work really hard to put something together. So just real quick, if we could all just give these folks a big round of applause for putting this thing together. Thank you, guys. Oh man, what a road, huh? What a long journey 2 years have been. Think about that. It's taken 2 years for people to finally start to stand up. I say I'm just as guilty. Okay, I'm not trying to say anything. I don't like this wall.
Right?
I'm gonna go to the wide spot. I don't like it. It feels weird. I'm like a walker. I gotta like walk around and stuff, but the wall's in the way. It's taken 2 years. 2 years for Americans to stand up. It's taken 2 years for citizens around the world to stand up. I feel ashamed because I'm one of those people too. It took me 2 years to stand up. But I gotta give some love to our brothers and sisters north of the border. We love you back. You inspiration to those around the world. Thank you, Canada, for everything you've done. I'll see you, Mr. Officer. I'll get down. No, man. Thank you for your service, sir. Darn it. How you doing? I'll just stay down here. I don't like this.
Somebody get him a stool.
Yeah.
Take the trail.
I'm gonna stand on your cooler, my bad. I'm fat, so. Oops. Canada stood up. Canada led the way with an amazing convoy all the way to their capital city. They showed the world. They showed the United States. Can you imagine that? Canada showed the United States how to stand up. Thank you, Canada. We love you. And the Patriots, I know it's a bad word these days, but the Patriots of the United States of America have your back.
We have yours, Brian.
These vaccine mandates, mask mandates, lockdowns are a violation of our constitutional rights. They're a violation on a global scale of our God-given rights. On a global scale, let me break this down for you. We have gone to war over human rights violations. And what we have now, on a global scale, nations around the world are violating your basic human rights. I don't care if you are a Republican or a Democrat. I don't care if you lean to the left, you lean to the right. I don't care if you're white, black, Asian, Latino. I don't care if you're gay, straight, bisexual, whatever your sexual orientation is. I don't care if you're married, divorced. I don't care if you're considered an upstanding citizen of the world or you're in and out of the system. I don't care. This is not a left issue or a right issue. This is an American issue. This is a human issue. I took a road trip that started back in February with a bunch of amazing people. We drove from California to Washington, D.C. There were Americans lining the roads, the overpasses, the exit ramps and on-ramps, the rest areas. There were Americans showing their love and support and standing up for their personal freedom. At times on that road trip, I worried whether we were doing the right thing or not. I worried if we were wrong in what we were doing.
He's a good speaker. He speaks from the heart.
Then, my beautiful family is here with me today. me in Monrovia, Indiana. And I took one look at their faces, and I knew everything that we were doing was not wrong, but it was right. I don't care what convoy, what group, what Facebook post or leader. I don't care about any of that. What I care about, and what each and every one of you should care about, is standing up. Take the initiative. Take the bull by the horns.
Hell yeah.
And lead the way yourself. There is only one who you should follow, and he's up above us right now. Following anybody else for any other reason is evil. Every single politician, especially around election, comes out and runs their mouth. They come out and tell you everything you want to hear. They tell you over and over again that they represent the people. But they don't. Tom Wolf's a prime example of that. Thank goodness he can't run again. I can't tell you whether the vaccine is good or bad. I have my personal opinions, but I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a scientist, I don't work in a lab, I didn't develop it. That's not my place to tell you whether the vaccine is good or bad. It is your right, not only as an American, but as a human being walking the earth, to make that decision for yourself. You are entitled to your medical freedom. When you look at these politicians and they do their kissing baby, shaking hand routine, and you're trying to decide whether to vote for them or not, don't. Until you do your research, look into their voting record, look into the history. Don't be afraid to vote someone with a D behind their name or in front of it, or however these idiots do it these days. Don't be afraid to vote for them if they actually represent their constituents and they represent your ideals. Don't get stuck on party lines, and I'll tell you right now. Sorry, I'm losing my voice already. Tell you right now, the worst thing you can do in elections is vote straight ticket. You are putting judges in, you're putting county commissioners and sheriffs, you're putting House members at the state level, you're putting federal level individuals in office that have been lying, cheating, stealing, and stabbing their constituents in the back to get their butt on that ballot. Both sides are guilty. Both sides are the problem. Both sides of the aisle are infiltrated, since that seems to be a fun word to say these days, infiltrated, you guys back here know what I'm talking about, are infiltrated with evil human beings, with evil intentions. They say the things they need to say to win re-election. That's it. Vote them out. Get rid of them. Taking back this country begins at the local level. It begins with you, sitting right there, man, with the American flag bandana on that just turned her head over to me. I saw the ponytail wave. It starts with you, man, running for your local school board, for serving in your local community, for helping out and volunteering at your soup kitchen. It starts with you serving on city councils and mayors and state offices. It starts with you. It starts with us. It starts with we the people.
Hear, hear.
I'm going to bring something up here that I learned today. A lot of people have said, well, what does this matter? The mandates have rolled back. First off, you're wrong. The vaccine mandates still exist. Let's be clear on that. But they talk about the mask mandate being gone, right? I'm going to read word for word because I can't memorize it. The mask mandate did not end for lower income children nationwide. If they are enrolled in federally funded preschool programs, you all know it as Head Start, they are still required to wear masks. I believe it's age 2 and above, right? Yeah. Ages 2 and above are still required to wear a mask.
Hands up for kids.
This mandate was put into regulation and cannot change until Human Health Services rewrites the regulations. This is happening right underneath of our noses. And any of you that got children in Head Start right now, your children are wearing masks. Your neighbors that may have it, the city of Harrisburg local community here have to wear masks. Every volunteer for the Head Start program and staff is required to be vaccinated unless they have some kind of exemption, but then at that point they are subject to weekly mandatory COVID testing. Every corner of this country, every single city, town, community, people are suffering. They are suffering at the hands of their own government. We are suffering. And it's going to take each and every one of you to stand up for yourself, to stand up for your children, to stand up for your local community, your grandchildren, your parents, your friends, your neighbors, even when they disagree with you, even when they don't see things the way you see them. It is up to you to stand up and fight back. It is up to you to stand up and resist. It is time for everybody around the world to stand up. It is time to remind our government and governments around the world that they work for us. I'm going to wrap this up now because I'm really hungry. Soup Mama, where you at? Soup Mama? Where's Soup Mama? It's going to take her a bit to walk up here, I know, because I just went through it. I want everybody right now, take your hats off to Soup Mama. If you're not familiar with Soup Mama, she has been feeding freedom fighters. She takes care of every single one of us. She makes sure that everything's taken care of, and because of her, and really only because of her, I got to eat during the convoy that I was a part of. So I just want to give a big round of applause to Soup Mama, and I want to offer her for a moment to come up here and speak before I close it out. Come on up here, Soup Mama.
Tough act to follow, just so y'all know. First and foremost, guys, thank you for being here at the Pennsylvania Harrisburg rally in my home state. I am so happy to see all of you patriots here. It is a wonderful thing to see us all united, standing together. And we need everybody, all hands on deck, to make change. So thank you for being here. Thank you to our live streamers down there, getting the word out, because otherwise this wouldn't be out anywhere. We need to make sure we're sharing this information out to everybody. We need to get people out of their couches. They need to come here. They need to see what's going on. And we all need to stand up united, because united we will win. United we stand, divided we fall. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being in Pennsylvania. Thank you for supporting this. I'm giving this back to Brian now, because I'm not near as good at this as he is.
I'm gonna wrap it up quickly here now. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, am humbled that they allowed me to come up here and speak, that they offered the invite to me to come up here. Those of you who don't know, I currently live in Northwest Ohio, but I'm actually from Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Up until about a year ago, I moved to Ohio. So I'm very, very happy to be back in Pennsylvania and given this opportunity. And it's kind of come full circle. Not that long ago, about 5 years ago, I was a part of a convoy here to the nation, here to Pennsylvania State Capitol. We parked on the side road over there with our big trucks, and we had a press conference inside the rotunda, fighting ELD. We won't go into it; it's not sexy enough. But that was really my first experience ever being involved, I guess, in this kind of realm of things. So I really feel like I've come full circle to be standing here in the capital of Pennsylvania doing this. And so I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for coming out here. I love each and every single one of you, and the speakers that were here, thank you. You guys did an amazing job, some great quality speakers, and with some seriously heartfelt stories to tell, and important information to put out. So thank you to those guys too. You know, it's just amazing being a part of something like this. And I'm going to finish with some advice. When you go back to your county, your town, your city, and you're thinking, you know, I want to do more. I want to be a part of something more. I've learned a very valuable lesson through all of this. It doesn't matter who you are, you can do it. No matter how shy you are, no matter what, you could be standing here holding this mic telling your story. But I want you to understand two things. It is of the utmost importance that you always, always speak the truth. Even if that truth can hurt you, you always speak that truth. And that you always, number two, you always speak from the heart. Truth and heart, you cannot lose.
Yeah.
And in this movement, what we're doing here, what we are doing right here, right now, and what we are doing across the country next weekend, many states are going to their capitals. Many states are going to their capitals next weekend. There is nothing more scary to our politicians than the American people actually standing united.
Yep.
Like Soup Mama said, united we stand, divided we fall.
Woo!
Speak the truth from the heart. Educate your neighbors, your family, your kids. Start serving in your local communities. I love you all. God bless. good night, and thanks for coming out.
So we don't have anything planned for April 30th, but anybody that wants to be in their capital, which is obviously you know where, for the 30th, feel free to do your own thing. You want to say? You want to?
Brian, Brase. This is from all the Freedom Patriots. I want to thank you for what you've done, how you've awakened everybody on this tremendous journey. We have this plaque to give to you. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to fighting for freedom and humanity. We do have another one for Dr. Alexander. Unfortunately, he had an issue with a flight and could not make it today.
Come on. I'll say a couple words for Dr. Long. I can't speak on his behalf, and nobody can do it as good as him, but I'll tell you what, when you have doctors, actual doctors, that are standing up against other doctors saying that this vaccine is bad, I think that entitles some more time for studies. And I can never recreate it for him. He is an amazing dude, Dr. Paul Alexander. He really is, but he will tell you that anybody that was complacent in the vaccine mandates, from celebrities to doctors to politicians to all of them, that have told you that you needed to get it, that have mandated the vaccine and that have forced you to get these vaccines. He's got that famous line, which we now dubbed him as Dr. Lock them all. Sorry, losing my voice. But thank you very much for this, and wow, I'm humbled. Thank you guys. Oh, God bless you all.
I want to thank all of you for coming out. I do suggest that you go to our page, The People's Movement, Pennsylvania. We will be putting additional information out there. We're looking at possibly doing a rally the 4th of July.
Hell
The birthplace of our country, right in Philadelphia. So pencil that in. We'll get back to you. I want to thank all my volunteers, all my leads who brought the convoy to Harrisburg. And I also want to thank all the volunteers who assisted in helping get this set up. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will not comply with the institutions. Take illusion, no, it won't be televised. Welcome to the revolution.
Is this like everything free? I just want to ask. What is this? Are these like free or I think so. Okay. I think they're free.
Shut your mouth, they can fly, this a message. Want you to cut no prescriptions that mess with you. Ain't got you presents, I'm blessing expression.
Harrisburg.
Institutions say illusion, no, it won't be tolerated.
Oh, there we go.
Welcome to the
I'm just gonna grab him. Go ahead. I just read it.
Oh, we could. Yeah.
Wait, just gonna walk upstairs.
What?
If you want live stream, come up there.
I don't know if they let us yet. I asked them.
What? I was just up there.
Who did you go past to get up there?
Oh, actually over there. You can ask them.
Look, I already tried going up there when they were talking.
Oh, when
and
they're
he was
talking.
like,
Oh, that's because they're talking. I was up there earlier.
so I went up that way. Okay, I'm just gonna see. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Keep fighting, thank you.
This is a war on religion. This is a war on our children. They give you a cure with the sickness. This is a war on tradition.
This is the
This
second
is a
bill
war
that she was
on
talking about.
religion. This is a war on children.
That's the first I've ever heard of it.
This is a war. This is a war. This is a war that we live in. Do never we give you back. That's what they're killing you. Follow your money, so follow while you being coddled by government swallowing up everything that the media tell you.
The tabs. Can you put these in my purse? Yeah. Gently, sideways, sir. Sideways. Sideways. Sideways.
This is a war on religion.
Where? Hi!
Do you follow her on YouTube? What's your channel again?
Esther Ruth.
Esther Ruth. Follow her on YouTube. Nice to meet you. I think I sent you my channel info, but not check after.
Okay, what's your channel info?
It's 27, GWYNNY7, and then I also do Facebook, and I'm using Lions for Liberty Rumble channel, so I expect YouTube to get mad.
So Rumble is what you're like one of the live streamers for Rumble, or?
For Lions for Liberty. So Rumble is like an alternative to YouTube.
Yeah.
So they have a paid account, because Rumble you have to pay to live stream. So you can't stream for free. It's like $10 a month. And I was like, well, I don't have anything we're going to have in the PA group. So I was like, they offered for me to use their account, and their mission's the same as ours. So I was like, why not?
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
I was like, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So
Guys, go check her out. Isn't she cute? Yeah. Alright. I guess I'll see you around, maybe.
yeah, I guess we have more rallies, so there'll be more.
Free PA, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's actually a group that we have around the mainly the Capitol and Elizabethtown and stuff. I can send you info on it though. But I love the back.
Oh, get up here. Exercise.
Hello, it's me. I'm in California dreaming about going out to eat just a burger with cheese or a shaken margarita, baby back ribs from Chili's. Hello, can you hear me? I am shouting out to neighbors who I used to like to see when we were outside and free. Is there something else?
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming
You're
out.
welcome. Take it easy. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
They want you locked in your home without God and alone. Don't want you looking up Dr. Sebi and Robert Malone. The truth blocked on your phone. They call the shots from their throne. These politicians and these doctors, they are not in control. Jimmy, think over the face that the Lord created, so it can be seen. Tired of the fake trending all over the place. We just want to be free. There's no fear of faith, these praising to
What?
the benefits and trauma taking from the tyranny. We won't bow down to the golden cow and do anything. We don't care what they say, it's
Thanks for watching, everybody. God bless. Put Christ first.